テンション。
Today, I want to talk about something very important. Gooning. More specifically, places to goon. You see, in order to goon, you need to be somewhere. You need to exist in some place in time. And I think where you goon is a very overlooked factor. I think the location of which you goon can hugely determine if you have a positive experience or not. So today I'm going to be ranking the different locations to goon on a tier list. Let's get into it. Alright, so as you can see, I've constructed a tier list with a few different locations to rank. We've got the tiers. Sensational. This is like a 10 out of 10 spot. It's comfortable, it's convenient, all of that. This is the kind of place where your cum turns into gold. Most of us probably goon here. Overall great experience. Below that we have optimal. This is a very solid place to goon. It's convenient, it feels good. This would be like blue or purple Fortnite loot. Again, optimal place to goon. And then below that we have doable. Now, there's nothing pretty about this, but it's not the worst place to goon. But it's also not incredible like the others. Then below that we have not ideal. You definitely don't want to find yourself gooning here. This is definitely like an emergency location. In most situations, you want to avoid a place like this altogether. And then finally, we have fucking disgusting. Never goon here. If you do this, you're a degenerate. Anyway, with that said, let's get to the ranking. Alright, first up we have the toilet. I mean, this is a classic. This is pretty much the place to goon. This is definitely going in optimal. You have privacy and easy cleanup. Not my go-to location, but it's definitely an all-timer. Next up we have the car, and this is a pretty creative location. I think there's honestly a few factors that go into it, like where the car is parked, and which seat you're sitting in. Now let's just assume that you're in the ideal situation, and say you're parked in an empty parking lot, then this would actually be pretty amazing. You can just roll your windows up, and prop your phone on the steering wheel, and then just start beating it. Again, you run the risk of someone walking by and seeing you, but if you're parked somewhere empty, then you're probably good to go. And maybe when you're done, you could just throw the nut out the window. Overall, I'd say this is definitely an optimal place to goon, if done correctly. Next up, we have public bathroom stalls. This isn't favorable, but we've all been there. Except for me, I've never gooned in public. I'm not gonna lie, it really depends on which stall you get. Some places are definitely gonna be dirtier than others. If you land a good one, it's not the worst, but I still think this is pretty bad. I definitely never catch myself gooning here. I'm gonna put it in not ideal. Now next up we actually have a very interesting one, the shower. Now I've never really tried this before, so this is all just speculation, but I actually think this would be kinda sensational. I mean, you don't even have to clean up at all, the shower just does it for you. It's kinda like pissing. Like once you jizz, it'll just rinse away in the shower. Not to mention you pair the feeling with gooning with the feeling of having a hot shower, which is amazing. Actually, now that I'm talking about it, it sounds kind of amazing. I might go try it after this video. This genuinely might be sensational. Next up we have a plane bathroom. No, I've never been in an airplane before, but to my knowledge the bathrooms are quite small. And there's only a few of them, so you wouldn't have an awful lot of time to use the bathroom before other people started waiting outside. And personally, I wouldn't be able to goon to full efficiency knowing that people were outside waiting to use the bathroom. Also, since the bathrooms are small with hollow doors, I'm not sure if people would be able to hear you gooning or not. But on the contrary, it'd be pretty clean in there, so you could probably do a lot worse than this. I think this is generally doable, although it could vary. I'm not gonna lie though, having post-nut clarity and looking out the window afterwards would be insane. Now next up we have the original, gooning in your bed. I'm surprised it took us this long to get to this, but no, I probably don't need to say much here, it kinda speaks for itself. Gooning in your bed besides the toilet is pretty much just the default place to goon. It's comfortable, private. The only problem is you usually need to hold your phone and clean up afterwards. And if you abuse this method, you can have a shitty stinky ass room. But if it's done with regard for your health and sanitation, it can be pretty amazing. Oh, but also, gooning in your room is a very dangerous move when there's other people in the house. You gotta be on high alert and have an escape plan. It's kinda like playing that one Five Nights at Freddy's game, you gotta make sure no one comes into your room and sees your dick. Gooning in your bed is definitely optimal. The next one is definitely out there. Literally, gooning in nature. Now, I don't know if anyone actually does this, but depending on the circumstances, it could be pretty serene. Me personally, though, I'd just be paranoid that a hiker would come along and see my dick. Either way, though, I could actually see this being pretty nice, but seeing how dependent it is on the situation, I'll just put it in doable. Now, next up, we have it at a friend's house. So this kind of depends on if we're talking about how good it is for gooning versus if it's morally correct. If we're talking about gooning optimization, then it's a perfectly fine choice. I mean, it's just a house, like, you gotta make sure you clean up afterwards, though. And from a moral standpoint, I don't know. If I found out my homeboy was gooning in my bathroom, I'd be kinda pissed off. You should probably avoid it if possible, but if you're really close with that person, then it's probably not a big deal. But there's definitely a huge factor of risk and reward here. If somebody in their house finds you gooning, it's fucking raps. Overall, though, very doable. And last but not least, we finally have gooning at a desk. This is another of the big three, those being the toilet, the bed, and the desk. It's definitely on the Mount Rushmore places to jerk off. Don't really need to say much here. You can sit on your chair and jerk off to whatever is on the computer. Very convenient. Extra points though, because you get to see a big screen, so you can goon Goon in 4K. Same risk as the bedroom though, just make sure nobody walks in on you. This is going in optimal tier. But anyway, that about wraps up the list. Let me know if y'all fuck with the ranking, and also enjoyed the longer video. Let me know in the comments if you've gooned in any of these places. Actually, you know what? Let's have a competition. Whoever has gooned in the most of these locations gets to be the pinned comment. No lying though. But anyway, with that said, hope you all enjoyed the video. See ya.
Beat my dick in the shower. 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 Beat my dick in the shower.